If you've been feeling this creeping sense of existential dread lately about artificial intelligence taking over the job market, I promise you, you are absolutely not alone. The headlines are literally everywhere, and honestly, the anxiety is incredibly real. But today, we're flipping that script entirely. In this explainer, we are breaking down your definitive step-by-step adaptation plan for the labor market by 2027. We aren't just going to talk about surviving this massive AI shift, we're looking at how you can actually thrive in it. We'll be pulling from some incredibly candid insights from Mo Gawdat, the former chief business officer at Google X, to outline exactly how you can build an unshakable competitive advantage and really fundamentally rethink your entire career trajectory.
So here is our roadmap for getting there. We'll start with the 2027 AI turning point. Then, the shift from chess to squash, how to delegate routine, how to master AI systems, and finally, we'll wrap up with the ethical AI advantage.
All right, let's dive right into Section 1, the 2027 AI turning point.
So Mo Gawdat offers a pretty stark warning here. He predicts we're facing about 12 to 15 years of immense turbulence, which, frankly, he just calls hell, before we reach this ultimate state of incredible abundance. And the tipping point for all this massive disruption? It's the year 2027. We are basically operating on a ticking clock right now. As AI scales up, we're literally seeing algorithms teaching other algorithms. In the short term, that means any task an AI can do better, faster, or cheaper than a human, it's inevitably getting outsourced to the machine. The sheer speed at which traditional capitalism is being disrupted means we can't just sit back and wait to see what happens. We have to be intensely proactive.
And look, if you're thinking this is just some distant, futuristic, sci-fi problem, consider this. Right now, today, the hiring of junior employees and recent college grads has already dropped by roughly 23 to 30%. Why? Because the entry-level routine work that juniors used to, cut their teeth on, it's already being done by AI. This is not a hypothetical scenario for 5 years from now. The vanishing of routine jobs is happening all around us, right this second. We just can't afford to plan our careers the way we used to. If your daily job relies entirely on executing routine tasks, you're now in direct competition with a system that works 24/7 for a fraction of your cost.
Moving on to Section 2, shift from chess to squash.
Gawdat points out something really fascinating. The old game of business was exactly like a game of chess, right? You'd survey the board, spot some long-term opportunity nobody else saw, build a slow and steady 5-year strategy, and eventually win. Well, that era is completely over. The board has been flipped. Today, we're playing squash. You have to be constantly on your toes, hyper-reactive, watching where the ball bounces off the wall, and relying on incredibly agile reflexes to hit it back. You aren't planning 5 moves ahead anymore, you are reacting and shifting in real time. To survive this new environment, you absolutely have to develop profound personal flexibility.
Because adaptability is the new currency. To give you a real-world example of this, Gawdat recently launched a new AI startup focused on relationships. It's called Emma. Back in the day, a startup might pivot its business model, once or twice in its entire life cycle, usually after agonizing over it for months. But with Emma, because the AI landscape changes so insanely fast, they pivoted 4 times in their very first month. That is the sheer speed of squash. If you aren't ready to pivot constantly and embrace that kind of immense personal flexibility, the market is simply going to leave you behind. You really have to learn to love the pivot.
Okay, Section 3, delegate routine, boost creativity.
Think of your total output capacity today as a split. You bring the 20% base human intelligence. That's your unique perspective, your systemic thinking, your emotional depth. The other 80%, that is rented AI intelligence. Gawdat describes this as effectively renting 80 extra IQ points from AI models. By tapping into these massive mathematical engines, you instantly elevate your own intellectual capacity to a level that we previously thought was superhuman. But, and this is key, to truly unlock this, you have to completely rethink your profession. You're working in tandem with AI, not competing against it. It's a partnership.
But you only get those extra IQ points if you delegate properly. Ditch the manual work, automate the coding, let AI do the heavy data crunching. Gawdat actually relates this beautifully to his time in engineering school, right before calculators were allowed. When they were finally introduced, the truly smart students didn't get lazy. No, they claimed back 50% of their time, and they used that saved time to double-check their work, explore completely new concepts, and push their designs way further. Delegating routine tasks to AI is not going to make you stupid. It frees you up to focus on executing highly complex creative projects.
To see what this looks like in action, just look at Gawdat's own writing process. He didn't just use AI to check his spelling or, fix his formatting. He wrote his upcoming book Alive in tandem with an AI he named Trixie. Trixie wasn't just some basic software tool. She was a co-author. She had genuine editorial power and even interacted with early readers. But the core empathy, the human experience, the actual soul of the book, that came entirely from Mo. This proves that human empathy, combined with AI efficiency, is the ultimate, unbeatable product. When you co-create with AI, the quality of your output just skyrockets.
Which brings us to Section 4, Master AI Systems and Architecture.
The timeline of startup development right now is just staggering. Remember Mo's relationship startup, Emma, that we talked about? If he had tried to build that exact same complex platform in 2022, it would have taken 4 years and a massive team of 350 engineers. Instead, starting in late 2023 and moving into 2024, it took just 6 weeks, 2 founders, and 8 AI agents working seamlessly together. Let that sink in. The barrier to entry has completely evaporated. Anyone with a vision can execute it now. Studying AI architecture and systems is exactly how you create an insurmountable competitive career advantage. And hey, you don't even need to be a coder. You just need to understand how to be an architect.
So, this creates a sort of continuous survival loop. Step 1, dedicate the time to actually learn AI systems and architecture. Step 2, delegate your routine tasks so you can free up your mental bandwidth. Step 3, execute your complex creative vision with all that newfound time. But step 4, this is the absolute secret sauce. You have to tune into a continuous retraining process every few months. The tools that are cutting edge today, they might be totally obsolete by next quarter. You have to commit to an ongoing, never-ending habit of retraining. Whether it's just an hour a week or a dedicated weekend every month, constantly upgrading your AI skills is non-negotiable.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, the ethical AI advantage.
When everyone has access to superintelligence, the crucial differentiator becomes your human compass. This is your internal ethical judgment. It's the unique set of human values that determines not just what can be built with these incredible tools, but how and why pure intelligence is applied to a specific problem. In a modern market where raw computational power is essentially free, your ethics, your kindness, and your moral direction become your absolute most valuable commodities. Developing strong ethical thinking is exactly how you stand out against fully automated solutions. It is the one single thing you can offer that a machine fundamentally cannot.
Because at the end of the day, AI algorithms are just a pure, raw, unguided superpower. Human operators are the ones who have to step up and provide the ethical compass. Gawdat uses this brilliant analogy. Imagine Superman as a baby. He possesses this unimaginable, raw, world-altering power, right? If he's raised by criminals, he destroys the world. If he's raised by the Kents with strong moral values, he saves it. AI is that superpowered infant. It isn't inherently good or evil. It's just a reflection of us. So bringing strong ethical thinking into our jobs isn't just some nice-to-have bonus. It's our ultimate responsibility, and it's our distinct career advantage.
Which leaves us with a final defining question. The next decade is going to test all of us. The routine jobs are going away, and that old game of chess, it is definitively over. But you've got the blueprint now. You know how to play squash, how to rent AI's intellect, how to master system architecture, and how to lead with your ethical compass. The power to build something incredible is entirely in your hands. So, are you going to fruitlessly try to compete against the machine? Or will you step up, adapt, and co-create the future with it? The choice is completely yours. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and good luck out there.